Welcome back to Dirt to Daytona, folks. Today, well, we are actually coming off quite a decent odd race from Martinsville, and today we've got Talladega. We are going to be running it as requested endurance race. There it is. There it is. Again, the only time I will be reducing the race length is the short tracks, just because of the abundance of cautions that come out and how I have to actually sit through the whole caution because the game doesn't let, when you skip forward, it really screws up how the cautions go. And I didn't like that. And I found out the only way it works right is if you sit through the cautions. And we're talking actual added hours, multiple hours of just sitting there. I think the race that I did for Martinsville, even the shortened race, had 7 or 8 cautions. And I mean, each caution is at least 5 or 10 minutes. You're talking 40 minutes, almost an hour worth of extra recording, just waiting for that to happen, me doing nothing. It's just not worth it. All the bigger tracks, obviously less cautions. And so we were able to do more in a shorter period of time. This is a 94-lap race. It's a big one. But we're going to have some fun. Let's get out there, do a little bit of practice. See how much we can get out of this engine. And we'll see you at qualifying. Well, we're faster than everybody that just posted, but it's only 4 people. Not much going there. Smoke. Oh. Here we go. Front stretch. Qualifying lap coming up. I was just keeping an eye on the heat there. We're good. At 49 seconds from my previous series that we'll call the lost tapes because I literally deleted it all. And let's stay on the inside here. I'm gonna have to adjust. This car is real touchy, and I think it's because it's the same setup I used in my last series, which I was using the same emulator, but it got completely redesigned. I think I talked about that, so the controller settings are different. I think the other controller settings were really dull compared to these ones. And so if I make just the slightest move, this car is all over the place, which on a track like this, you don't want that to happen. So I'd like to be able to move the controller around just a little bit more and not have it be an issue. 51 low, 51.12, not too shabby. Not my fastest. I can get it without the draft at about 51, almost flat. We'll be able to take on, with the draft, we could probably get it up into around the 7th place area, but that's a lot of work. And that's also saying that everyone stays bunched up for us to do it. So, I'm going to try to stabilize the car a little bit, and I'm going to practice getting on pit road at top speed a little bit, and then we'll get to this race.
I'm Alan Bestwick. Welcome to the world's fastest speedway, Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. Talladega is the biggest, fastest, and most competitive motorsports facility in the world. Speed says it all about this place. This record-breaking 2 2/3 mile trioval keeps drivers glued to earth by virtue of 33-degree banking. Freight trains of stock cars in the draft literally caused the earth to rumble in Alabama.
Wunderbar. Let's get it. Made an adjustment to the front end a little bit, and it completely stabilized the back end. So that's how that worked. Got a jump, not enough of one, and as soon as we get to 4th gear, it's not going to go well for us, but hopefully. Something I did notice, I shouldn't have pressed that while I was doing that, but anyway, something I did notice was that I have, when I brake, I don't have ABS on, obviously, but I can't lock them up when I brake. And you'd be like, well, that's good, but I feel like I'm not getting the right amount of brake pressure. So, because I can pump the brakes then. If I could lock them up, I could just pump the brakes to get better stopping power. I went into the pit. Ooh, stay there, friends. Why are we losing the whole everything right now? Because we're on the outside, but it's just not great. I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and sneak on in here. That was bad. We lost a lot of spaces, a lot of spots. It's because it takes us forever to get up to speed from 4th. And if I adjusted it more, we would overheat. So it's kind of where we're at. But anyway, if you notice, the back end isn't really all over the place now, which is nice. But, yeah, the braking thing was something I noticed. And I noticed that at Martinsville, too. I was like, you know, I'm pretty sure I could brake a little harder without locking him up. The only reason why I ever locked him up at Martinsville was because I would turn while braking, of course, lose grip that way, but not in a straight line. And I felt like I could brake harder in a straight line a bit better. It didn't work out that way, so I didn't like it very much. Goal right now is to work our way in front of all of these cars, but we're not being very good here. I think we'll get in front of Blaney, but I should have gone down to get there. I'm just gonna... Oh, sweet. Stewart kind of came up for a second, but not long enough. Long race, obviously. We have a long way to go. And we're going to lose some spots here because, again, not in the draft. I want to get there. I want to. Stewart's doing a good job of riding in the middle. Getting some good speed here. 195, 196. That's awesome. 197. Whoop. Little touch on Blaney. No big deal. It's okay, Blaney. All right. That scrubbed off maybe a little bit too much speed, but see if I can sneak in here into line. Well, I got to be careful. Sneak into line, I say, and then I end up losing it on the apron or something. We're gonna, do whatever we can. Stewart's there. We've got Junior a little bit. See if I can grab the draft of Hamilton up there. Bobby! And the biggest thing, 94 laps of not getting down on that apron, and I'm not going to risk it too much because that will completely change the scope of a race. Even if I don't bring it back up on the track and wreck everyone else, if I just go sideways, it'll definitely put a kink in my race plan. So back up to we're in 12th, and as I said, we have a car that could potentially get us up to 7th. The way that I see it at this point is we could possibly pass Hamilton through the draft. I don't know if we're going to be able to link up to Rusty up there, but what I do know for a fact is that with our pit stops being fast, as long as we don't get screwed over by cautions, we absolutely could get ourselves in a position that we're in front of some of these other cars.
That was a great lap.
I also know that the cars that are up at the very front are reasonably faster than us without the draft, and that part is why we will not win the race. Not on this track. We almost got around to it in Martinsville due to cautions and the way that everything was panning out. That's not going to be the case here, but if we can run a clean race, we can walk away with some good money. We can start looking at some more upgrades, which we haven't been able to do in a while. So that'd be kind of nice. I'm not really sure. I didn't even look to see where the next race is. I want to say it was California, though. If I recall, I went through that whole list. I think it's California. We've only had 2 truck races, so we still have like 11 of those to go. So we have a long season left. So even though we've run a fair amount of cup races so far... Wow, is he blocking me? So even though we've already run a few cup races, we still have a ways to go in this season. And I'm not sure. If it's 36, it's 36. That's okay by me. You know what I mean? Like, if that's just as many cup races as we have to run, I think that's the full schedule, isn't it? 36 races. I'm fine with that. That's fun. I see Mr. Blaney has driven away from everybody else as well and is making his way in the picture. And I want to let him pass because he is faster than Hamilton, which means I could latch onto him and we can get more positions. We can get more spots because me drafting with Hamilton here and Blaney's passing Hamilton without the draft. That's something you definitely want to be a part of. So we're going to lock in here with Blaney and see how long we can hang on to him. And hopefully we don't scrub off too much speed in these corners and we're able to somewhat hang on with him and get ourselves up to Rusty Wallace and whoever is up there. I think that might be, is that Ricky Rudd up there with him? I'm not quite sure. But as you can see, the changes have already begun with us just driving away from Bobby now. Bobby! I can't help it. Every time I see the name, I want to scream out, Bobby! Check on our... Oh, we have 21 laps left to go in the tank, and we have 87 left to go. So we will actually... We're going to speed things up. Because as you guys know, at almost 50 seconds a lap, we're talking an hour and a half straight of recording. which I don't have a problem with. But again, and I've said this before, and when we did the voting, you guys understood that these videos are probably going to be 45 minutes long now. Now, to be fair, when I watch somebody do a car rebuild show, I want those suckers to be hour-long, like Vice Grip Garage, Derek over there. Man, those hour-long episodes are fantastic. Love it. So I don't mind hour-long episodes. You know, you got your people out there that freak out for anything over 15 minutes, and maybe this isn't the channel for them, but we're going to provide you guys with the full race, whether it's a speed up or it's the actual race itself. And we're going to start with this speed up now, though. So just setting the expectations for you guys so you know what we're going to be doing in the future. We will get back with you, as usual. Caution, action, pit stops. Hopefully it's not action, because it's usually because of me. Or caution, because it is usually from me, too. All right, we've got four, probably three at the line, huh? If it's three at the line, we've got about another lap or so that we'll get around. It's three right before the line, so we'll go around one more time and then we'll pit. And it's been uneventfully eventful so far. We didn't have any damage at all until Wallace just decided he wanted to plow down on us lap and a half ago. But I think that was after he picked up damage when the 117 car drove up into him on the track. It was kind of weird. It looked like it was just pinching him more and more. We've lapped a lot of cars with staying in the draft, but it looks like we're actually potentially going to lose the draft from Blaney right here. And he's not that far away, but it doesn't matter because we're going to be pitting soon. Looks like we already have someone who just pit. Hope is that we'll do well on the pit stop, come out in front of some cars, or at least closing that gap up. We'll really have to see how it goes. I'm kind of letting these guys go because I don't want them right behind me when I get onto pit lane because these psychos are able to go from 190 miles an hour down to 65 miles an hour in about a quarter second. So if they're going to pull in right now, I don't want to be a part of that. Or I didn't want them behind me, I should say. I didn't care if they're in front of me. They're probably going to pull in right now. We're all in the same. Maybe not. I don't know. I know it takes a second for them to go there, but I'm going to pull in.
Slow down.
Here we go. 65, going at 60. 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, and we'll get right back out there. Quick 11-second pit stop, roughly. Gotta get up to speed. We have no drafting partners right now, and we're gonna move out of the way of the traffic. So we'll run the high line going around this corner in hopes that we don't get blasted by somebody else, because that would happen otherwise. And then jump into 4th gear. Obviously, we've dropped back to 19th, but most of these cars have not pit yet, so we've got quite a ways to go before we find out where we said we should cycle back out in around 10th or 11th. I don't know. Depends on how fast Wallace and Laney's pit stops were. They pit a lap after us, so got another 27 in the tank. That's nice.
Still there.
That'll put us into 40-something laps, and then I think we'll only have 1 lap to go. Or 1 pit to go, and we'll be good to go.
Clear low.
Is we're going to see us jump a number of cars. And then that's got us. Yeah, Wallace and Blaney are right in front of us getting up to speed. So we're going to pass them. Well, we're at least going to pass Wallace. I don't know if we'll catch him past Blaney. He shouldn't be near up to speed yet. We are up to speed. So basically we shuffled out where we were. Kurt Busch there, he's sitting. He was 9.5 in front of us prior to our pit, I think. Blaney, by the time he gets to turn 3 here, he should be pretty close to up to speed. We'll get in with him with the draft. We got a 2-second lead on Wallace. He had some damage, Rusty Wallace did. So that's notable to why his pit stop was probably a little bit slower. He hit us, and he also was kind of decked by another car, so that was a whole thing for him.
Clear low.
Ooh, hey now. We got some close racing for kind of no reason there with the lap car, but made it through unscathed. I don't know, did it completely clean up our... No. Once you have that little green on the nose, it never goes away no matter how little it was, because we barely had a dent on the front right fender. Wasn't even noted on the pit times. So anyway, one thing about this race is we're going to get a lot of speed ups in it simply because not a lot of action. You're going to see me and Blaney probably just stay hooked up. Not sure really what's going on with Wallace because we've gapped him by another 1.5 seconds. So it seems as though with him not being in the draft with us, he is not fast enough to stay up with us at all, which makes sense. When he caught me before, I wasn't drafting with anyone, so... And Blaney is definitely faster than Wallace was because he caught us while we were drafting. So as long as I can stick here with Blaney, we actually appear to be potentially catching Busch a little bit, which would be kind of nice. It's like we got Kenny Schrader in front of us here. We'll get around him on the outside.
The car head is pitted.
Okay. Still got... Oh, cars that have been lapped once or even twice are able to pit just now.
Still there.
No, we're not gaining on Busch. He went from 9.4 to 9.8 that lap, so we're definitely not gaining on him. Here's the 117 car that rode Wallace up the wall. Caused his damage. Wallace seems to have kind of eased out. Oh no, we're still driving away from him. We had to slow up a little bit for that traffic there, just slightly, and it's costing us because here we go. Kurt Busch now, 10-second lead again. My fear is losing Blaney, and I don't know how I was going to lose him there. I didn't really get off his bumper, but he's driven to a 0.3 second lead on us, which from this perspective actually looks like quite a bit. Pretty sure that when we hit the 197 mark, we'll catch him again. Ooh, Mac, the 116 car. A lot of damage there. And Elliott Sadler pitting. I'm not sure if that's out of order, but that puts us in 9th place. That's not a bad thing at all. Got our lap traffic coming up here. Should be able to just ease up and around it without any incidents. I say, and my tires grabbed and pulled me down.
Still there.
So that's not good. Not terrible damage there, but now Blaney is almost a second ahead of us, and that is going to be hugely costly for us because we're not going to be able to catch him. My tires, as I was turning, I was going to let off, and all of a sudden they grabbed and pulled me right down, right in behind the, I don't know what number car that was, to be honest, but now we've lost the draft fully from Blaney. That sucks. That sucks because that also means that Wallace and Rudd will start to gain up on us. I'm going to use the draft of every car I get to and pass, but I just don't think it's going to be enough for me to catch Blaney. He's got a really fast car, and it's kind of our limit as far as catching him goes or even keeping speed with him. He's almost 2 seconds on us already. Only notable thing I'm seeing is that Rusty Wallace has only gained a 10th on us, so that's interesting. Yeah, 192 down the backstretch, 193. It's not nearly. We're 4 or 5 miles an hour slower. Not because of the damage, just because we're not in that draft now. And that is not great. We're going to go low. It's risky, but we're towards the end of the corner, so it worked out for us. You know, that really does piss me off that happened. It wasn't that we weren't trying to go high. It was that, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm moving this controller about a millimeter to the left when I go around these corners. And we did just a little bit more of a millimeter as I was trying to go up the corner. I kind of missed it a little bit, and tires grabbed, sucked me right back down, and put me right into the back end of that lap car. So that sucks a lot. Well, now Wallace has gained about a second. Rudd, I think, about a half second. So that isn't really great either. Here's the 117 car again. He's just getting lapped over and over again. That's unfortunate for them. They may have pits, and that's why they're getting lapped again, though. But they've got to be at least 3 or 4 laps down. Looks like Blaney is kind of evened out at that 3-second mark. He's not really flying away like he was earlier. But Wallace is definitely catching us. Now, Wallace catches us. We link up with him. You know, let him pass us because for some reason them pushing me does not seem to go nearly as fast as me getting behind them. So if I let him pass us and I fall in behind him, there is that opportunity that we could roll out and end up catching Blaney again. Still a fair amount of racing to go as we've got, I think this will be lap 59 to go. Not quite sure. I think it was that, though. And we also still have 18 laps in the tank, so we've got about 10 laps on this last tank already. Yeah, lap 59. So I'm going to go ahead and speed things up as I get in here behind Matt Kenseth and try not to wreck him again on another big speedway track. We'll get back with you guys probably at the next set of pit stops. It's what it's seeming like. Peaceful race so far. Just a few minor incidences. Hopefully we can keep it going that way.
Out.
Caution flag comes out right as we are looking at potentially being lapped, so we are going to do our best to prevent that from happening. because Mark Martin here has a very, 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 very fast car. I'm hoping that he'll slow down when we get to the line, or as long as we stay in front of him, but we're going to have to get around this car here. Is that Mikey Wallace? Then we got Rusty, who slowed way up because of traffic, so we're going to sneak past him, which is nice. And we stay on the lead lap, which is huge. We have 10 left in the tank. We're going to pit because I think it's okay. And then we'll be back at you after this caution.
Get set. The race is going green.
Getting set.
Green flag. Car low.
Oh, Rusty is right up there. I'd like to just, like, get to him.
Stay high.
The number of cars just did not pit. Like, I don't know. I want to say most of the cars did not pit, so it's kind of interesting. Can I sneak down here with this line?
Car high.
I don't have the speed to really do much with it yet, though. That's the problem. Well, we got a nice little knock from that lap car, though. Honestly, that was helpful. I don't know why we're not picking up speed right now. We are being left behind. We'll catch them in a second, but that was weird how that whole thing progressed
Still there.
early on. We are faster than a lot of these cars here without the draft. We just had to get up to our normal speed. We're not even at our normal speed yet.
Clear low.
So we'll do that. The nice thing was with it bunching us all back up, we've got room. Oop!
Still there.
Wisconsin, if you ever heard it there, huh?
Clear high.
All right. Oh, no. Don't! What are you doing, man? I came off the gas, I did. You know, you can see it, but we still bumped him, which sucked because it really impeded our ability. No more damage than we already had. That was stupid. So anyway, we had 10 laps left in the tank. 3 laps on the caution. So I'm going to say, and I'm going to make an assumption. Oh, frickin'. Are you kidding me? I didn't know if he was going to go up or down, and it cost us big time. Get in here with Marlin.
Stay low. Still there.
Try to just roll with him instead. Try to catch him and get up to this. I mean, I know we're in 9th place right now, and that's all fine and good, but we should be up with those cars right now. We got just a few things that happened that prevented us getting there. Anyway, though, a number of cars didn't pit. That was the biggest news in the pit stop thing, at least that I saw. So they should have about 7 or so left in the tank, I would assume. Maybe 8. Might be getting better gas mileage than us, but I'm not positive.
Still there. Clear high.
You got Bobby Hamilton up here really putting up a fight with Sterling Marlin. We should be able to catch Marlin. I think we were driving in front of him before, but I'm not positive. With this bunch up, though, I'm pretty sure that Blaney and Wallace got a nice drive going there, which is unfortunate for us because we're kind of in this bubble, and the problem with this bubble is that, well, Robbie Gordon's the only one that's on the same lap as us anyway. That's behind us. We were the last car on the lead lap. We had just passed Rusty Wallace at the line, and we kept Mark Martin behind us. But, we are at this point, we are truly driving about as good as we possibly can with what we have. That's what this is telling me. We're not even driving away from Robbie Gordon right now at all. He's gaining on us, in fact. And we are losing Sterling Marlin, Dale Jarrett. And I think we're actually losing Bobby Hamilton here. Here we got some cars peeling off. And that's a big deal for us because that was why we took the pit stop early. You're going to get some of these cars that do this. It may cost them a lap. Now, they'll get their lap back pretty quick now, but they're going to be a full lap around behind us as far as trying to get their spot back, potentially. So that should be interesting. Robbie Gordon isn't so much faster than us that we can have what happened to us against Rusty Wallace happen with him. So he'll pass us, which I'm going to move so he can. But we're not going to lose him in the draft like we did with Wallace. That was unfortunate. We kind of went up the track a little too far. and couldn't get back down because we were tight from a little bit of damage that we repaired in the pit. But that damage was enough to keep us from getting where we wanted to get. So here comes some more cars peeling off. Those will be more positions. That's going to... I don't know where the other cars came back on, but I know that they're really far behind us, and we have only one pit stop left, and so do they. So we're in a spot right now where, barring a caution, we're going to be very far ahead of these cars that just came off of pit road. We did lose Robbie Gordon. I couldn't stick with him. I don't know what's going on with this at all. So it's unfortunate, but we're going to ride this one out. We have 19 left in this stint. We get 27 in a tank, so we're going to be able to pit with less than 27 left to go, and that'll put us in a really good position. Robbie Gordon, Sterling Marlin, either they didn't pit or they did. I don't know. They were right around us when we came out of the pits. We ended up right behind them, so we could end up washing out to first place, but again, it's a matter of time before those cars are the ones that are catching up to us and passing us for position. This is a good indicator on how much farther ahead we are going to be than those cars, because we got Rusty Wallace right now and Kurt Busch, and we can see the countdown, or I guess the count up, to show just how far we're getting ahead of them. Each, while they're on the lap or in the pit. It looks like they're not in the pit anymore, judging by the fact that those numbers stopped climbing quickly. Here comes some of the lap cars, I think, going down there. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say Marlin and Gordon were they both potentially pit with us. That's what it seems like, at least. And as you can see, Martin and Burton are already... Or no, Burton's ahead of Busch, but Martin definitely is going to gain up on us right now. So he is so much faster than us, it's ridiculous. But we're not in a draft either, so not much we can do about that. All right, folks, we have an estimated 3 laps of fuel left, and I've done the thoughts on it. We're actually going to go around 2 more times. We're going to go around until it says we have just 1 lap of fuel left. because I want to make absolute sure. We got the old debris on the grill, which gave us 10% damage to our radiator. They'll have to just clean that off. Probably won't take but a second, but I want to make sure that we are in the best possible position to not have to worry about gas mileage at the end. And I think the best way for me to do that is, in fact, to go around 2 more times. Well, 1 more time, about to be, because we're about to get to that front stretch and get ourselves that cool last lap. Not last, but
Stay high.
that'll be
Still
2 to
there.
go. Yep, so we're going to come around a full other time. Now, so we're not pitting this time around. We're going to pit the next time around. And again, that's just with the goal. Yeah, we'll be right around the 0 mark, and I hope that things that have happened to us before don't happen again. It seems like the gas mileage has been extremely stable here. So I feel like we should be good to go. I know I normally go in early, but I decided this time that I didn't want to. You know, unless that turns down to a 1 before we get to this area, which it didn't, I feel more than confident that we have enough fuel to get us around the track 1 more time. Now, if this thing sputters when we cross the line, I am going to be pissed. And it didn't. I know it's happened more than once. I know Kansas, it's really wrong. But it's been on point here every time at the line. So it's not been like, oh, maybe we spent more fuel than we thought or what have you. This is the cases that I think we're doing pretty well. So we're going to bring it in this time. Aside from the radiator damage, I don't think we added any new damage to the car. That nose cone will stay green. It always does stay green. So
Slow down. You're low on fuel.
pretty good here on this one. We're just going to... There we go. That was a better pit stop than the last one. Pull on in here. We're going to take 2 rights. Fill it up with gas. Four tires. 4 tires. I lied. See, the radiator damage didn't even register on the repair screen. So, I feel like we do such good pit stops. Might as well just take all 4 and finish this race off. And we had another ecstatically wonderful pit stop. Obviously, we're not sitting in 3rd anymore. But remember, a number of these cars will have to pit with 2 to go. Need to watch that rear view mirror this time and not get run over. And now we're going to go high to ensure that that continues to not happen to us. And 4th gear. And now I would love to be able to just catch any bit of the draft at Newman here just to help us speed up a little faster. I got a little bit of it. As you can see, Wallace, Blaney, those are the ones in front of us again. So we kind of came out where we would have if we had pit at the same time as them. However, we did not pit us at the same time as them. And what does that mean for us? Well, it means they all still have to pit. That means as long as there isn't a caution beforehand, we should actually get potentially a top 3 finish. Because we were probably still 5 to 7 seconds in front of the cars that were gaining on us. So if they pit after we just pit now, I mean, because we had a great pit stop, unless all they do is go in for gas, which they might, we possibly could have done that. I figured why not do what we're doing here, you know? Also, it ended up being a blessing in disguise that I didn't have a bunch of tape on the grill because we're actually running pretty cool right now. But I could have run with some tape on the grill and potentially gotten us to go just a little bit faster there. I will see probably in the next 4 or 5 laps other cars starting to pit. 25 in the tank, 21 to go, so we definitely are a couple laps to the positive. Freaking believable. I came off the gas. Please do not bring out the frickin' caution.
There's the spin in turn 1.
That's all me. That's me. That's my own fault. I didn't slam on the brakes. I should have just slammed on the brakes. I didn't. I came off the gas. That 117 car is an absolute freaking menace on the track. He ran up into Rusty Wallace, and now he ran into or he drives down in front of us when clearly we're the lead lap car. Just freaking move out of the way, you pile of trash.
Pace cars out.
So here we are. Going to be an equalizer. All those cars will be likely pitting, and it's my own fault. And that just sucks. I regret that. I regret that a lot.
Get set. The race is going green. There's the
Well,
green flag. Car low.
all my hopes and dreams are shattered because now we have everybody right here, and like you can see Mark Martin, he was kind of out of it because of how everything had gone, and now he's right back with us, and that all sucks. It's just not fun. This, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our best to kind of block and stay in the draft and whatever, but we're going to get passed by so many people, even once we get up to speed, which we will. But even once we get up to speed, we're going to get passed. Now, everybody in the left lane can pass us because they are all the lapped cars. But technically, we're in second place right now.
Still there.
But we're going to catch up to Atwood here, try to get around him real quick. I didn't have enough of a run to do that, I guess, and I went a little too high. Oh, looked like it did work out. And if Burton can get up on my bumper, we can drive in front of everybody. He's got a little bit of damage to his front end, it looks like, too. Probably just a little nick, just a little nothing. But I think the big thing here is that our goal is to basically block everybody and maybe finish second, but we have to block for like, I don't know, 17 laps. I don't know how many laps are even left right now. But I don't have a problem keeping these guys in tow until somebody decides to break out and pass us on the inside or something. We've got a decent clip in front of Martin and now Jarrett, so hopefully if I stay with Burton here, and I'm keeping him behind me because every time I let someone go in front of me, yeah, he's got damage on both sides. Every time I let someone go in front of me, I lose their draft because I'm not as fast as them. So, yeah, Marlon's going to drive away, but second place right now is obviously way better than third place I was hoping to finish if the stuff worked out. So, I'm hoping that Burton can push us to about... Oh, yeah, see, here comes Jarrett, though, on the outside. With a full head of speed and not drafting anyone, so that's part of the issue. And I'm losing it because I couldn't keep it down on the track for some reason. Wow, why am I, like, so tight all of a sudden? Oh, because I did get damage to the front end. I didn't pit for that damage either. So I wanted the best position I could have. Yeah, this is where the problems arise. This is where cars are going to be able to drive around us. Second place is a pipe dream. Third place is looking like it's probably not likely either. Maybe a top 10, which is what we were destined to do anyway. What did I say? My top 7 would probably be the best that we could get by driving up through the pack. We might end up top 7 just because that's how the whole thing ended up, which just sucks. You know, it really does. I was quite hopeful. Well, let me focus on the road and not the car behind me because I think that was my problem here. Yeah, that was a better corner because I was looking at Burton instead of myself. And him moving around was causing me to, like, adjust my steering, which wasn't great. But we need Burton behind us to push us at all. If Busch gets in front of us, I guess that's fine. My goal there would be to get up behind Busch, or, well, I guess Mark Martin's right on him. So I guess my next goal would be... Oh, he pulled out in front of me. To say my next goal would be to get in front of... Oops, sorry, Mark. Sorry, Mark. I mean that one. But my next goal would be to stay with Kurtz, and yeah, Martin was able to get between us. I'm okay with that. Oh, we just got super tight. Oh, we're good. Nope, we just got super tight again. Whatever. whatever. We're going to lose both of those spots because we're just super tight from running into the back of the 117 when he pulled down on us, which brought out the caution, which made this whole situation possible, which sucks. So very bad. And it's on me. Well, there's the caution again. But we have to go all the way around the track again, so let's not lose sight of what positions I might be able to pick up going around the track one more time, because they will slow down before the start-finish line, so we could probably grab 3 of these spots. That's about it. If I'm able to duck in or go out, I don't really know. Whatever I'm going to do, it's going to have to happen pretty soon here, because I know these cars start to slow down pretty quick. And I don't even know what the caution's for, but yep, here comes the slowdown already. With that, unfortunately, the other cars are so far ahead, there's no way we're going to catch and pass them, but we'll go back to it with 3 to go, which is a big deal. Wow, are we going to get to... No. I was so close to Jared, I was like, maybe. 10 laps left. We'll get 3 right here. So, we'll see what happens. So we got 8 to go at the line. Probably the biggest downfall to all of this is that we got the damage from that 117, and our front end is kind of swooshed, and it's making us real tight. So if we don't stay well into a corner, we end up in a real bad position. We need to play the game of holding this line as long as they will stick with me. I know I'm about to see Dale Jarrett drive away with this part, but hopefully with the full draft front and back, we're able to speed up at least quick enough to do something here. Looks like we've got an inside line, and I want to cut it off, so we're going to do that right now. That's going to give Mark Martin... Well, actually, I just screwed that up. Here comes Robbie Gordon. We might be able to stay in the middle because of that. But look at the train. Nothing I can do about it. Honestly, nothing I can do about it. Martin trying to find a way in. We're getting pretty decent speed being right where we are, so we're actually battling back up. This is actually what the race should be like anyway with the draft. I think the reason why they did it, though, is it's really hard to control the car. And so I think that's why they just said, well, we'll just let them all spread out. Because they're definitely not... It would be very hard to do even 90-something laps like this with the cars all around you. I would do my best to learn how to do it, that's for sure. But that's like when we're in NASCAR Heat 5, that's why I'll use my steering wheel. I did go in there recently just to try a run with my controller and run it like I do this game. It's just not. It didn't work well at all. So that one I'll do with my my steering wheel. Sorry, I was thinking. I'm watching Robbie Gordon drive away, and I'm trying to figure out all the other numbers going on here, and I just got tight again, so I'm going to... I don't know. This isn't great. Here's Blaney again. We're in 6th, so our top 5 hopes are over. I mean, we're literally looking at dropping way back to maybe even 10th. But I think 10th is it for us. Rusty Wallace can probably pass us too. So bunching up the cars sucks because we don't have the speed to do what we're doing right now. I'm hoping that I can stay because I was already doing a pretty good clip that I can stay up with some of these guys. I might be able to figure out some passing strategies by getting into someone else's draft like this with Blaney there.
5 laps to go.
Obviously, with the 5 to go, we want to do whatever we can to pick up whatever positions we could. We just got run over, though. I mean, we couldn't maintain, and you know what it is? It's not the straightaways. We do have straightaway speed. It's the corners. We scrub off so much speed in the corners in general. That's where we get lost, because we pick up a decent amount of speed going down the straightaway, and then we get to these corners. See, I'm passing him. We get to the corner, and I just have nothing for him. And I'm going to try to hold my best corner possible here. Look at us. We're barely moving on the corner, and I just don't think it's enough. And now I'm too far out of their draft, I think, to be able to pull. Well, maybe not. Let's see if Kurt Busch's draft will pull me in front. No. And it's because getting back to the speed from the corner is just not there. 4 laps to go. And we're battling with frickin' Blaney, and... of course, Wallace is back there. Now, don't get me wrong, folks. A top 10 finish is a top 10 finish. We did a good job. We would have gotten top 10 if it wasn't the last car on the lead lap regardless. We would have ended up with the top 10 finish. It's just, you know, you're up there in third. You got cars that have to pit with about 10 to go, and you know that they got to pit, and you know if it's green, they're going to pit, and you're going to be almost a lap ahead of them, which means that there's no way they're going to gain 30 seconds, 40 seconds back on you in 10 laps, which means that despite the probability, you're actually going to end up with a top 3 finish. And you ride around for an hour and a half like that, which we have been recording for an hour and 56 minutes at this point. You get it into your head that there's a possibility that you're going to end up with a top 3 finish. And so that's what I'm thinking about. Well, it's all sped up, but it's not sped up for me. And I'm going, all right, so this number here, doing all these crazy calculations, insert that calculation meme right there. And then you run into the back of the 117 car like a freaking moron and pull out the yellow flag and blow every opportunity away. And now you're sitting in 9th like you would have if none of that stuff ever happened. Now, the fact that there is another car behind us on the lead lap is kind of okay, but I really believe that if Skinner and them were on the lead lap as well, it wouldn't matter. We'd all still be in the positions we're in. Because if you recall, it was me, Blaney, and Wallace in the first stint. And then once we pit, it was similar, but we started to lose some. And then that caution came out that wasn't from us. And we got we got off sequence. And so then all those other cars had to pit later during live racing. And we had a nice gap. We had a nice lead. Not a lead on everyone, but a lead on those ones. So my fault, which usually when it comes down to it, it is. I mean, yeah, we got bad luck here and there, but my fault is usually the answer I'm hearing. And are we a lap down?
Last lap.
No. I was going to say, why? I didn't. Could have sworn I just blinked and we had 4 laps left. So I don't think, unfortunately, that anything I do is going to put me in a position to pass Blaney. We're going to do our best here to get a good run going into the corner. Maybe bump him a little bit, but not dump him. And see if we can get it. But yeah, looks like we're not even going to get enough speed to catch him. We hit 197 on that corner and we didn't get to him. Oh well, I mean, 9th place. Obviously, it could have been much worse. And of the mistakes we made, they weren't that great. See if we're at least with him here. A little bit with him. Yep. Oh, hey, we didn't pass him, but we actually were right on him, so that was kind of cool. Yeah, top 10 finish. Not upset about that at all. Forgot to go over the top 5. We'll do it after this. Moment of truth, though. How much more money do we potentially make? Ooh, $209,000. Because we have almost a 3-time multiplier with that race length multiplier being there. That's pretty nice. Ward Burton emerged victorious at Talladega on April 18th. Congratulations to the Caterpillar Rentals 22 Ford Mustang. Top 5 in that one, as you know, Ward Burton won it. Mark Martin 2nd, Robbie Gordon 3rd, Dale Jarrett 4th, Jeff Gordon, really didn't see him much in the race at all, comes out with a top 5 finish. With that finish, we move up and are now in 25th place again. That's pretty exciting. We like 25th place. We would like to see if we can move up enough to potentially get to 22nd, maybe? Our next race is exactly what I thought it was. California Speedway, 2 p.m. race over there on the West Coast. Traveling from Alabama over to California. $1.2 million up for grabs. But folks, that is going to do it for this episode. Your first endurance race of the Cup Series episode. I hope you did enjoy it. You know how you felt in the comments there. But as always, I'd like to take a moment out to say thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And of course, until next time, you take care.